Well, just another quick build update. I haven't been taking much for video lately, mostly photos on the Hangar 45 build thread, but here's where I stand right now. I have Vince's bezels assembled. They're not tested as of yet. I just got these three PCs talking to one another through the network without a problem. The one I've tested Jet 45 on already, but I think today's task will be to get the RMUs talking on the network, and hopefully that'll work out alright. But thus far, everything is fully functional. All the buttons work well. I had a little bit of trouble with this encoder due to the fact that I may have over-tightened one of the screws that holds it to the panel and pulled the nut out the back, so it actually got loose. It was my own assembly problem. Easy fix, and that was literally the only problem I had with the entire assembly. It's a long process, but totally worthwhile. As you can see, these things look pretty amazing. I'm super pleased that I chose to take the dive and buy them. I would have never been able to make anything close to that. I just don't have the equipment or the skills for the CNC. Also got the crew warning panel bezel from Vince at the same time. I'm going to get, Ron's going to whip me up some bezels for the standby gauges, and then that'll round out the panel pretty good for main displays. I'm working on the rest of the panels, as you've seen in previous videos. They're in the workshop. Maybe I'll try and add that to this video real quick. I got this from Chris's stuff. It's complete. I just have to get some switches and get a rotary in there, and I'll probably interface that at the same time. This is one of the touch screens, and actually what I'm thinking about doing is placing this approximately here, which I'll have, unfortunately, that much overhang. I was going to put it, later I'll sink it into the console, but I think I'll put the other one that I have directly beside it, and one will be my FMC for friendly panels, the other one will be my electronic flight bag, and maybe in-flight movie or something. Initially, I want to get the thing up and flying, so I'll deviate in the console area. Engine start panel will live here, and these Cytec panels will get out of there. And I'll sort of decide as I go how far I want to take it for scale right away. On a long enough timeline, it will get there, but initially I don't think I'll worry too much about it. In the FGC, this was also Chris's. It's a, I believe, Open Cockpits, I think, card that somebody has hacked out the encoders and the buttons and put them into the panel. I may stick that in place, or I may take them back out, take the PCB off the back, which will be no problem, and stick it into the backer I already have until someone makes an FGC available. The main thing I will have to do is get the ethos up and going, because that's something I do need for navigation. I do like to do some nice navigation, so I do switch back and forth between sources quite a bit. And Ron's reversion panels still yet to be interfaced, as with kind of everything else yet to be interfaced. I'm not sure. There we go. That computer is fired up and I'm ready to put some Jet 45 stuff on there. It's just been freshly updated Windows XP. So at least I got the three computers talking. Pretty happy about that. Back here I haven't done a whole lot. So I'm going to pull these out into the light. These are the connections for my display for the PFD and MFD bezels. That is the female connector stuffed in there, as it makes it easier to solder when I solder these connections on the back. And then I encase them in the automotive goop glue, which is a nice clear non-conductive protection coating, which made the connector very cheap. It's not terribly pretty looking, but not bad, and nobody will see that but me. Got all three of the iInk monitors fired up and working, and I still have to work with the cable fiasco. This is for my FDS sys board. These are all the pigtails for it. And this is where the FDS sysboard is going to live. I'm pretty much set in that. It will be the location of choice for me. It's either that or try and ram it down there where there's going to be a boatload of stuff coming from the console area. I just don't think that's an option. I may revisit all of this if I do end up going a shallow route, but by the time that happens, everything should be fairly fully functional. Way back, see if I can get a shot in here, is my PO keys card interfaced to the ribbons. There's some shots of that on my build thread. Just hacked up PC ribbons. Ignore the ugly electrical tape that's there as a strain relief until I just see that all the connections are functional. I'm sure I'm going to have connection issues. I'm quite positive I'll be chasing a few. I had some problems with the ribbon connectors with the RMUs as well as the bezels. That's why I have them tied down currently with zip ties and these hold down points. If they get flexed a lot, the ribbon will break. I ran into a significant amount of problems with that before I started sticking them in place permanently. And that's pretty much the same thing on this side. These are they're male coming out of the display bezels, and then I just have the female connector there, and I'll be soldering the wires directly to that, sealing them up, and that'll be my point, which I can just sort of unplug the MIP and remove it. I'm just not sure entirely where I'm going to put everything. And all my lighting sources, which is just random PC wire that I had kicking around. I just left the connectors on for now until I decide what I'm going to do with them. Back here is kind of the snarling rat's nest for now, and just till I get these computers all interfaced and Jet45 functional on all of them. Should be pretty good, and I think things are moving along in the right direction. I'm quite pleased thus far. It'll be pretty much capable of a test flight fairly soon. The only thing that's going to take me some time is interfacing all the remaining encoders. The PO keys card covers the RMUs, and I'm eager to try Mark's utility for that. It's going to make life so simple. As a matter of fact, I did not even track what buttons I have to what connections on the ribbons. I only track the encoders, and with Mark's utility it'll just be push the button and program it, and that'll be that. Downrange, if I have to track each one, well, I'll do the pinouts then, but I'll have to get another PO keys card to interface these encoders. I don't have any provision. I do have another PO keys card, but it's an Ethernet version, so I may play around with that and see how that's going to work. I see no reason it shouldn't. It's just a little obscure in the manual on how it's going to function. So, got an LED strip to put in here. Nothing is fastened as of yet. The glare shield is, due to the tight fit on the tower, it is kind of suspended itself in midair. I've had it off so many times now, and I'm probably going to have it off 10 times more in the next upcoming months. So I will be taking the Hangar 45 member advice and starting from the bottom up, which will probably, I will have to get this panel in place, and then I will work with the MIP, which is only very slightly off. I have a very small amount of clearance here. I'm going to have to put some fastening, and then I will worry about getting the glare shield fitting just right. That way I kind of don't have to go backwards more than forwards. Thanks for watching.